This is Yoshiaki, and he's the main person in the video. He races for a racing team called Team Le Mans Racing. This is a day in the life of a Japanese racing driver. This weekend, he's going to compete in a race called Formula Regional Japanese Championship, which consists of 2 qualifying and 3 races. First, all drivers need to participate in driver's briefing to go over the rules for the race. In this race, your fastest lap time in qualifying 1 is going to decide the starting grid for race 1. The fastest lap time in qualifying 2 is going to be the starting grid for race 2. The second fastest lap time in qualifying 1 is going to be the starting grid for race 3.
予選前はいつも緊張する。予選前はいつも吐きそうね。
After driver's briefing, Yoshiaki is going to do the final check for the car and strategy. In qualifying, Yoshiaki can go around the track freely within the 15 minutes to do his fastest lap that decides his starting grid for the race. He gets into the car as tension rises. His look suddenly becomes the face of a fighter. Qualifying begins. Qualifying 1 is a very important one that decides the starting grid of race 1 and race 3. But for some reason, the car struggles with top speed, which put Yoshiaki into only 6th place compared to when he was always the fastest in official test runs. As soon as he gets back to the pit, the team mechanics check the tires, review the data for the car, and soon start setting the car for qualifying 2. Qualifying 2 starts right after that. Again, the car struggles with top speed. Also, the mechanical problem that the rear tire locks at downshifts put Yoshiaki in only 4th in qualifying 2. Right after the 2 qualifies, Yoshiaki reviews his driving and starts preparing for race 1. Since racing cars use the tires really heavily, multiple sets of tires are used during race weekends. But since the number of tires you can use is limited, Yoshiaki will be using the old tire he used in qualifying in race 1 and will be using new fresh tire in race 2 and so on.
今使うのは特別でない。ああ、そうですね。俺もそう思う。レース1はユーズドで行って、でもテストにしちゃって、でレース2そのままニュー入れて、
もう限界ギリギリいってるけど、もう全然タイムがこれ以上出る気はしない。でなんかいつものよっちゃんと表情も全然違うからちょっと近づきづらかった。そうだね、ごめんね。いや、それだけ。いやまあ命もかかってるし、お金もかかってるし。
Not only driving, but doing photo shoots is part of his job too.
そういうのをこなすのも
レーサーの仕事
ね、レーサーの仕事。
原因がやっぱもしかしたらこれかなっていうのが今ちょっと見つかって、急遽チームで全部でもう全員で一丸となって時間もちょっと押してるんだけど、今新しくセッティングをし直してる。やっぱチームですごいいろいろデータ解析したりとか、すごい経験のある人のアドバイスによってなんかこうしたらいいやしたらいいっていうのが、ドライバーの直感とエンジニアの経験とメカニックの経験と全部の合わせてどんどん速くしていくっていう、すごいいいクラムをできるだけ作っていくっていう感じかな。
After the photo shoot, the team figured out that the setting of the suspension was causing unstableness as well as the misalignment of electronics, which made the car struggle with top speed. Car was immediately fixed as a team and on to the first race. Yoshiaki starts from 6th place in race 1. Let's see how much he can catch up. The race begins. The car in front of Yoshiaki had a late start, so he passes to go up to 5th place, passing one more car on exit of first corner, which made it an excellent start for Yoshiaki. Also, he passes in the final section of the first lap, brings him into podium position. After that, he chases the car in 2nd position furiously. once got past and drops to 4th, but soon he recovered his position and finished race 1 in 3rd place.
なんとか6位から3位まで
一気に追い上げたね。
まあ明日はすごいもっといいポジションからスタートできるから、でニュータイヤも残してるから、次の2レース3レース目はまあ僕がニュータイヤ使えるから、そこで逆転できるかな。
Day 1 ends and the team prepares for day 2, which we have race 2 and race 3.
明日ニュータイヤ使えるから、まあいいところで使って、でニュータイヤですごい最速タイムを目指したいなと思ってます。名誉挽回ということで頑張りたいです。
Contrary to weather forecast, day 2 is of heavy rain. Race cars use completely different tire between dry and rainy weather, so Yoshiaki's plan to use a fresh new tire on day 2 was ruined.
昨日の予報の時点では、一日中晴れの予報だったんだけど、みんな同じウェットタイヤで勝負することになるから、まあ、イコールコンディションっていうことで同じタイヤで、まあ、勝負できるっていうことで、ドライバーの腕が出るレースにはなるなと思います。寒い中のウェットタイヤっていうのが、他のチームはまあ去年もやってるけど、うちのチームはデータとかもないから、まあ、結構厳しい勝負にはなるかなって思ってる。でもウェットはやっぱり本当に自分の力が出るし、まあ、ウェットは自分も得意だと思ってるから、全然上に行けるんじゃないかって思ってる。
Since the rain was so strong, a car called safety car led the race for a few laps. The race begins. The sight from the driver in rainy races is so bad that if you get behind cars you can't see anything, just like this. Even in conditions like this, drivers brakes hard from 230 km per hour. Yoshiaki passes in the first corner and soon becomes 3rd place, but he couldn't stop the car only to drop to 4th again. But luckily, the car in 2nd place received a drive-through penalty which put Yoshiaki back to 3rd place. He chases the car in front with his iconic hard braking. The race ends there, putting Yoshiaki on podium 2 races in a row.
お疲れ様。
お疲れ様。本当に、まあ、初めてこういうコンディションで走って、本当思った以上にグリップしなくて、すごいもういつスピンするかっていうのをキワキワで走ってたんだけど、まあ、なんとか追い上げることができて、まあ、結構トップタイムでずっと回れたんじゃないかなって思ってる。まあ、4位からスタートで、まあ、3位だけど、まあ、次のレース3も同じようなコンディションだから、まあ、それに向けていろいろセッティングも調節して、レース3はもう勝ちに行きたいなと思って。勝つなんだ。
レース3勝つために。
そう。早めに食べときゃよかったいただきます。おいしい。
レース3これで勝ちましょう。
After lunch break is the final race. In race 3, starting position is going to be decided by the 2nd best time in qualifying 1, which is 6th for Yoshiaki. He needs to catch up like in race 1. The race began with the lead of the safety car in a continuing rain. The tension rises before the race. The race starts. Yoshiaki attacks on the first corner and passes immediately, bringing him on to 5th. Keeping the momentum, he tries to pass on the chicane as well, but the opponent tries to resist. And the next moment, too much momentum ended up in a spin. He was able to continue the race but dropped to 8th. But Yoshiaki switched into Super Saiyan mode, making him pass so many cars, ending in 4th place, and even making the 2nd fastest lap time of the whole race.
手応えはあったレースだったんだけど、やっぱりそのクオリファイで上位に行けなかったっていうところがやっぱり本当に今回のレースの肝だったのかなと思って、まあ本当にミスなく次はレースを進めていって、そうすればもう絶対に1位になるし一番速いっていうことをもう分かってるし信じてるから、本当タイム的には本当2番手のタイムで、まあ、結構途中もベストを出せるぐらいのタイムで、まあ、マシンも良かったし、全体の大会を通していろいろ学ぶことがあったし、すごいいいレースができたんじゃないかなって思います。みんなのためにも本当に活躍したかったけど、悔しい結果になってしまって、本当に、不甲斐ないです。
Even after that, Yoshiaki looked frustrated than ever, which I really felt that he was that committed to the race. Even though you fight the race as a whole team, it doesn't guarantee a good result. But you still go strong as a whole team that I really thought motorsport is a wonderful sport filled with important life lessons.